And we're back here on KFAI. This is KFAI 90.3 FM in Minneapolis and 106.7 FM in St. Paul. It's radio without boundaries. And now we have the band Sons of Vengeance in the studio. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Right on. Who are you guys? We'll start with you. Introduce yourself. Say who you are, what you play.
I am Zach Wallace, and I sing in Sons of Vengeance, and I also play guitar.
Cool. Right on.
I'm Logan Stahlecker, and I play lead guitar for Sons of Vengeance.
Right on.
I'm Nick Dornfeld. I play drums for Sons of Vengeance.
Yes, you did. And actually saw you guys play out live last night at Neeson's in Savage.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
Did you have fun?
Oh, a ton. An absolute ton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were really going for it. I got to say the enthusiasm was, thumbs up, man. Right on.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about it. How was the experience last night?
Oh, it was crazy. Okay, so we arrived at the venue super early, and we're sitting there looking at the regular stage, and we're like, okay, we can do this. And then I actually left for a little bit, but Logan sends me this thing, and he's like, this is the stage. And I'm like, oh my God, it's it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's real.
hey, and the guy we know from the big band Malice that headlined that night, he was the one who got it there, and oh my God, it was awesome. Great people, great experience. We got on stage, we rocked it like crazy. It was an awesome night.
You did.
It was... I can tell you it was one of my best performances, and I think that it was globally of the band just one of our absolute best performances
definitely.
ever.
Very nice. Yeah. What did you think of the rest of the lineup? Did you see any other bands, or were you too busy getting your stuff together?
Oh, no. You always go see the other bands.
You should.
It's
Yeah.
just respectful, and beyond that, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love discovering who... maybe we could play with in the future, or maybe we want to get to know her, that kind of thing. I know that we've been friends with Stormbreaker for a while. They've played a couple shows with us, and we've talked about some other stuff. So it's always awesome seeing those guys.
Right on.
And then, obviously, you can go look up Malice whenever you want. And that's always great. But other than that, Luna Boreal, I was actually really surprised by them. They were one of those starting bands, and
Me
I'm
too.
like, oh my golly, that dude can shred.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm like, wow, that's all over the place. But yeah, he definitely tore it up. Man, oh man. It was, it sounded kind of like 80s new wave a little bit. I mean, there was definitely some different influences I wasn't quite used to, which is not a bad thing, because you got to always respect other genres and expand your horizons. Obviously, we do metal here, but that doesn't mean it has to be exclusively metal. There are things on the fringe that you can incorporate, and things that are also completely different. So you never know what you're going to end up with, especially when you meet people of like-minded or, things like that. Hey, let's do a band, see where we go, So speaking of that, we have some music you guys brought in. We could play a little bit of that and come back and do some more interview. It looks like I have Iron Maiden on deck here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Start with some of that?
Please.
Okay, let's do some Iron Maiden here on the Root. All right, we're back here on KFAI with the band Sons of Vengeance. That was Iron Maiden, yes, live Power Slave from Live After Death. That seems to be an influence from you guys.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite band by far.
Good choice, man. Why is it your favorite band? Explain yourself.
Well, when I was little, when my dad introduced me to, metal and stuff and rock, Led Zeppelin, Iron Maiden were definitely up there. I listened to the most, and I just really, Iron Maiden's, their guitar work is really what I look for in my own playing. It's definitely one of my main inspirations.
Cool. Do you like the melodic side or the technical side?
Oh,
or the way
definitely melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially with the dual guitars, the way they layer those harmonies and things like that.
That's what I love about Iron Maiden.
Yeah, fantastic. And you wouldn't think that, at least for someone on the outside that doesn't really know, you should by now, but not, I guess at this point, Iron Maiden's like an institution or at least a cultural icon, but some people don't know what it is besides, I saw a t-shirt. So it's all image and no substance.
Yeah.
That's not really true, but some people might think that, look at the Kardashians are wearing it or something, like who cares, right? Just to be whatever. But anyways, so I guess we're going to interview you guys a little bit more here. If you want to tell a funny story off the top of your head, otherwise I can dive into some questions here. You were talking about, you opened for the band Malice last night. So what's going on with those guys? You said they have a fan base in Europe, quite in certain areas that are people really go nuts for him, I guess.
Yeah. So basically, actually, earlier today we were at a steak dinner party with Raymond and his band, some of his band members in Malice,
Nice.
and I saw them on Facebook, and they have like 18K followers, which is crazy for
Nice.
a local band. And
Yeah.
so I'm just like, how'd you do it? Because I have never seen them do a big tour or anything like that. Like, they're a really self-made band and doing this all themselves, like ourselves. But I didn't get it. So, I asked Raymond, and I'm like, hey, he's the bassist, if you didn't know. And he's just says, well, we do a lot of radio, and on top of that, like, over half of our fan base is in Romania and Russia,
Really?
and the whole Siberian area. So
Wow.
I'm just like, well, man, the power of social media.
I mean, do you have? I haven't well, not a reason why, but an idea. It seems like, well, obviously Europe is more prevalent for metal or hard rock than America. Here it seems to be a hip hop or top 40 music or pop or whatever. But to each their own. I guess I feel people are missing out because they just kind of give metal a bad rap because it's not popular. But I guess since it's not popular, it's a double-edged sword. You want to break through and have exposure and, I guess, go on tour, sell records, and be, rich and famous. Well, I mean, I'm sure you're not, setting your goals so high. You have to be realistic. You're a local band, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's where you start right now. And you guys are relatively young. It looks like you just got out of, well, I don't know where, but no, I'm just kidding. You're have a lot of potential here. Let's see. What was that? Where was I going with that? How about a question for the band? We'll start with you, Zach. It seems like you have a lot of technical experience from a musical standpoint. You went to Berkeley, it looks like. Is that true?
No.
No?
You read Facebook, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, as I created that when I was like, friggin'
Don't break the illusion.
I was. I'm sorry. I made that account when I was like 12, and
Okay.
and
It
truth
looks impressive.
and truth be told, I
You're self-taught. It doesn't matter.
Berkeley self-taught, same thing.
Yeah, same thing, right? Well, anyways, okay. Regardless of that, I see that you guys, Sons of Angelus, you're working on an album right now. You only have one demo out. Is that right?
Yeah. We have a while back we worked on one song for this one show that we did in actually my hometown and usually our home base for the band.
Yeah.
As far as like where we go and where we do everything. That's why we made the demo.
Okay.
And we just been using that
Okay.
to do all of like our promotional stuff. We've been using it to send off to people and to use it actually for the first time here on radio tonight.
Cool. Yeah, I got it set up in the CD player here. We'll get to that whenever you'd like. Otherwise, we can go back to some music, or you want to talk a little bit more? Like, I don't know. Give me something to do. I mean, I'll keep going here. You want to do mostly an interview thing. Let's see what I got here. Well, I guess I can just go down the line with who's next. As far as how you got started in the music realm, you were inspired by, so you saw something on television, you heard a radio song or something to that effect.
I mean, I got into music because, like, my dad and me, we like watch Woodstock, the DVD.
Oh, there you go.
Over and over again. My dad's really into that stuff.
Cool.
And then, I just listened to a ton of Zeppelin and all that stuff, which then progressed into like all the 80s music, which I'm a huge fan of. I've loved the 80s for a really long time.
I'm glad that the younger generation doesn't forget the 80s, because if you didn't grow up there, you're like, what is that? Some people don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's...
How can you?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I mean, you ask people about anything 80s, sometimes they're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. I mean, it's in a time capsule now, so you can always find it anywhere.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
you have to have the interest to do so.
advantages of the internet. You can just Google things, 80s bands and all that stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. I believe some of the best bands and some of the best songs were written in the 80s. I mean, not to say you can't do that now, but it's tough to be a pioneer because those people have already passed. Like Led Zeppelin's a good example. There's only one Led Zeppelin, there will never be another. And unfortunately, you won't find one today on the radio anywhere that I can compare. But it is what it is. So, but it's a great band to be influenced by.
Yes.
Definitely.
So I see it's on your list too, coming up here. But why don't we play another song? Probably the next one on your track list here, or do you want to play something from your demo? What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, if we could play that one song.
Sure. We'll play the one song that's all by itself. Hold on.
Yep, and remember us?
Okay, there we go. We'll give that a try. Sons of Vengeance here on the root of all evil. And we're back here on KFAI with the band Sons of Vengeance, and that was from their demo. That was the song See Through. And I guess let's ask the big question, where did the band name come from? What's the story behind that? Sons of Vengeance.
Well, okay. The quick version is it goes back to how I personally got into this whole rock thing. And the answer is that my dad did this. My dad played guitar actually for Prince.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. When he was at Paisley Park, he worked for him, and he had a Warner Bros. Contract, and he was also a session player.
Nice.
And if you didn't know, I don't know if you know them, but my dad, if you've ever heard Nice Dreams by Power Mad,
I know Power Mad, but I don't know,
that is on the list of
Oh, is it
of
really?
our inspirations. So yeah,
Cool.
my dad came up with that riff, and
Nice.
it's really awesome. But that the band name really came from the fact that when we were forming the band with an old friend of mine, my dad was in a band called Vengeance.
Okay.
And if you get where I'm going with it, we're the Sons of Vengeance.
Of course.
And then what basically my dad's like, well, you're the Sons of Vengeance. And then me and my friend were like, that's so sweet. And
Yeah, pretty good.
So that's how we started it.
Wow, so you got to pay him for the rights, the name of the band.
Shh.
Can I get ownership of this copyright? No, I'm just kidding. You guys own it. Cool. And we wanted to talk about the fact that there was mention of Colorado. What's that all about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I originally was in Minnesota, like playing drums for this band, and I still am. But I actually moved to Colorado, Westminster. And
Okay.
it wasn't my choice because my parents wanted to move out there, get closer to my sister and her kids.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just more or less we wanted to be closer to family and that sort of stuff. But I mean, my mom also works for Delta, so
So are you here now, or are you going back and forth? Or
I'm
how does
going
it-
back and forth.
Oh, you are?
It's
Wow.
hectic.
So do you send files back and forth when you try to practice, or how does that work? Or you just jam when you are in the state?
Yeah, we
How that
usually just jam like when we're in the state, and these guys know the songs like extremely well enough to where they can play without drums, and then it's just more or less when I come back, it's just like combining that back in, which is
Okay, cool. Who wrote that song we just heard, See Through? Who's responsible?
that is Zach's creation.
Okay, very nice. Good job. You guys, obviously you all collaborate to some degree. Who writes a majority of the songs? Do you split it up pretty good, or whoever comes up with an idea, everyone else follows suit, or how's that work?
What it really comes down to is I ultimately want it to be, okay, let's bring something to the table. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who it is or who's playing what. Let's bring something to the table because that's how greatness is created.
Yeah.
Usually the way that I personally do it is I'll come up with like a guitar riff, and while I'm writing the guitar riff, I'm thinking, okay, this is the kind of the vocal melody I want, and that kind of thing. And then what I'll do is once I've come up with everything I want to do with that, while I'm still working on the choruses and the verses and all the stuff for the vocal melodies, I can send everybody all the guitar lines and all that, so that Logan can at first he can learn the parts, learn what I'm imagining, and then Nick, after a little bit of my ideas, can get an idea of what he's going to do on drums, since he's the drummer.
Yeah.
He gets it the best. And ultimately, my idea is, I've learned from experience that the best way to get something creative done is, number one, whoever's got the idea first, just if everyone learns it how they want it, then if you ever want to change something later, then you can just say, for instance, if Logan's like, hey, Zach, in this part, can I do this instead of this? And I can be like, yeah, sure, let's try it. We do it. I love it. Awesome. Let's do that instead.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden we got something even more amazing that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then when you add all the vocal stuff on top of it, and you try to make it something that, you'd want to listen to.
Yes.
And that's always my standard. Like, would I want to listen to this? I try to get outside of just myself, because it's not about you. It's about the audience. It's about bringing your craft to a level where not only is everyone in your band satisfied, but everyone in the crowd is. And you're not always going to find that with every single thing, but the absolute the point where I think you're making it is when your fans and you find a central ground where they love what you're doing and you love what you're doing too. So that sweet spot for me is everything, and that's always what I'm going for.
Cool. Other bands might disagree with you as far as doing music for the audience versus themselves. Some people are self-indulgent, and they don't care what other people like, and they just happen to get fans by accident because they thought, oh, we're going to start this as a joke and nobody's going to take us seriously, and we're doing it for ourselves, and we don't even care if anyone listens to our music at all. You should care, you would think, because otherwise why would you bother having fans? I don't know. It's one of those things where you want to try to do music for yourself, but you want to try to please the fans. So it's a trade-off. I don't know how that works, but I mean, I like your philosophy. It's pretty cool.
And for me, to sum it up, for me, I personally, when it comes to fans and fan satisfaction and working for them, I'm so happy to go based off the fans, because I get satisfaction when my fans and the fans of my band are happy and satisfied and loving our shows and our albums and anything we do. That's when I'm happy. And, I could sit here and just run my scales and do all that all day to satisfy myself. But that doesn't matter to anybody beyond just yourself. But when you get past yourself, that's when I think magic happens.
Okay, so there's no ego problem in the band then?
No,
not at all.
Because sometimes there's an ego problem, and then that brings us to our next topic, which is ex-members of the band. Ooh. Oh, there was a good one. No, we're not going to talk about that. We've all had ex-members in the band, of any band, but we were talking about Megadeth. And Marty Friedman used to be in Megadeth, but I don't know what happened with that. People have all sorts of opinions, and it seems like sometimes there's like the leader of the band, and I'm the leader, and you do what I say. And then, you don't want to just be with a bunch of hired guns, because I feel equality in the band is probably the best way to go. You level the playing field, otherwise you drive people out. I don't like the whole my way or the highway kind of thing. You got to compromise.
Yeah, like this band, like we treat each other like family. Like it's all a community, and we treat each other with respect and all that stuff. And like if something doesn't work out, that's fine, but then we have to problem solve like as a team. So
Yeah, I could definitely say that we're all best friends, so working together as a band, is awesome.
I mean, I guess even when you initially form a band, I don't want to say complete strangers, but at least you get to know each other on that musical level. You kind of just, met in school or whatever else, but you never know what people are capable of until you're like, hey, we've never played our instruments in the same room, let's try this, and then all of a sudden it just clicks. But you didn't know that until you try it. And sometimes you need to find the right person to click with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, it's almost there, you're so close, but, oh, there's the exit, see you, bye. We got another guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to make decisions. Sometimes it's like, we knew this all along. You know what? It was just a matter of when we're given the boot.
Yeah. The cool thing about our band is we all came from similar backgrounds, as in like when we were playing. Like me, Zach, and Logan, we all came from School of Rock, and
Cool.
yeah, and so we all did that, and then we all met at shows and stuff, and it was just pretty cool.
Very nice. I like the way this is going here. Why don't we play some more of your music or some that you brought? I'm kind of curious about this this one track.
It's a solid track.
It is a solid track. Let's see if I figure out which one it is.
Oh, you know which one it is.
Yeah, because I don't remember. Oh, it has to be this one then. Hold on. And we're back here on KFAI with the band Sons of Vengeance, and we just played another selection that they randomly chose, and that was Kid Ego.
By Extreme.
The band was Extreme. I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
was written backwards in that case. The band Extreme. The song was Kid Ego. All right, and you were going to tell a story that you were just talking about briefly here. Give us some information. What you got?
Well, okay. It's basically my car. I just got a new Chevy Trailblazer, and
Okay.
every time it must be cursed or something, because every single time we go to do almost anything,
Yeah.
like it either breaks down or just turns off, and we can't find a problem with it. Like one time,
Okay.
hey, seriously,
Really?
and I mean, Nick will ask you, we blew a tire today.
Would it be
Today?
today? Wait, would it be today or would it be yesterday?
Well, it's Sunday right
Okay,
now. So
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Saturday was- yesterday. Okay.
We broke a tire yesterday.
Okay, what happened?
Well, as in the tire thing
Well,
yesterday?
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, we were just driving. We were actually on our way up to Levon Guitars up in Savage to make a trade, and then all of a sudden, what do you know? It all, it's on the side of the road, and we're right next to Menards.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah, like literally we bought a jack like right there. I like changed the tire. Zach was on the phone with his dad, just like, oh my God. It was and then you're like on the side of the road, it's like, oh, you don't want to make a fool of yourself, and it's just like so yeah, it was kind of it was easy, but it was just like low key like stressful.
Okay. Part of being in a band, right?
Yeah.
the funny thing is that is not even nearly
No.
the extent of it. Like
Okay.
one time,
Yeah.
one time my battery for some reason just wasn't charging in it, and then we were driving back from Apple Valley
Yeah.
after meeting somebody, and literally it's going fine, we're doing okay. First of all my meters, like the electricity running the meters, shuts off, so I'm running blind. And then
Jeez.
we are 6 blocks away from my house.
Of course you are. Yes.
6 blocks away.
Yep.
That's when the car decides to die.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're like, well, guys, we can either call a tow or we could push it. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, we pushed it. And so the running joke in the band is that between us 3, now we can say that we are men.
Wow. You pushed it 6 blocks.
6 blocks.
Wasn't that heavy?
It was.
It was.
How long did it take?
I don't know, like 10 or 20 minutes.
Wow. Good job.
Yeah.
That's too much work. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let's see. I suppose we should talk about musical stuff since you're in the band, right? I don't know. Let's see. Where do you see yourself in the next year or so as a band, or as far as a short-term plan? You got obviously you want to probably put out maybe an EP or a full length at some point, working on songs, things like that. What do you got coming up?
Well, I was kind of teasing it
Yeah.
on the SOV page, teasing saying 3 weeks and like being elusive up
Yeah.
to the point where now it's been released on a couple public media sources.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on an album right now.
Okay, excellent. Is that a surprise announcement? Nobody knows that, or they do now?
I mean, they do
They
now.
do now. It's on radio.
Yep. Worldwide.
That was supposed to be a surprise announcement, but
Okay.
well, guess what? Whatever. We
Yep.
we're making an album.
I'm
We're
surprised.
excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
We've been working really hard to decide, what songs we're going to do. And the songs we decided on, I
Yeah.
think, are the songs we've been playing live for a while. We've been getting out. We know how to play together. We
Yeah.
can just slam through. We can do really, really well on. And obviously, we're going to do the whole album process.
Yeah.
But as far as song selection and as far as song writing goes,
Yeah.
I think that this album is probably going to be the best debut we can possibly do.
Cool. Well, that's what you're shooting for anyway.
Yeah, of course.
How far along in the songwriting are you as far as where the label or the album is and what stage is it in?
Okay, so we're finished writing all the songs. We've decided all the orders. We know how many songs are going to go on the record.
Yeah.
And we're deciding on cover art and all that stuff right now, and that's still in the works.
Okay.
But as of recording, we're going to get there. We're going to get in there to do all the tracking in the next couple weeks, and I got a guy I'm working with on that, and he's really coming through and working really hard to make it happen, so we're doing the same.
Cool. Where'd you find your recording place at? I mean, how'd that come about?
It's at McKern Studio Complex, which is actually the studio at McNally Smith.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you go to a real place and you plug in and you play live, or I don't know how that works to record. You just do it independently, or you try to get a live sound, or you just put it together in bits and pieces. I mean, you do both, I guess, to just make a record. I don't know how that works really, but
Well, it comes down to how you want it to sound. Like, I know that
Yeah.
Stone Sour just put out their entire new record, and it's like a full, major label,
Yeah.
all that jazz.
Yeah.
And they recorded all the album's drums and bass completely live.
okay.
So that's all that, and then it just layered everything else on top of it.
Cool.
But there's a billion ways to do it.
Yeah.
The way that I think we're going to do it, just for maximum accuracy and just to make it sound the absolute best and have the most control, is we're gonna start by going in, slamming the drums as much as we can for all the songs, and then layering everything else in basically instrument order
Yeah.
up until the vocal lines at the very end. That's the plan.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's somewhat typical of how everything kind of gets put together. Let's see. What was I going to say? Who writes lyrics in the band? Where do you come up with song ideas, things like that?
I usually write. Well, usually as of now, I'm writing the lyrics.
Okay.
And for me, when I started, like some of the songs that you'll be able to hear on the record,
Yeah.
they sound really like old school, like Metallica-ish,
Yeah.
and that's the main influence.
Sure.
And Avenged Sevenfold, that kind of thing. And that came from a point in my writing life. I wrote those songs when I was like 12 years old.
Nice.
And that came from a point where, I was just out to conquer the world and I just didn't care at all.
No, you should keep that going.
Um,
You already are, so that's good.
so that was at that point. But then more recently, I guess I kind of decided that some of the best songs that have ever come out in the course of history, basically,
Yeah.
have all they're more than just, a song. So I always try to find something to write about or to think about,
Yeah.
or a way to present either an idea or like something that actually, it'll grab you,
Yeah.
and it'll bring you to a point, a place, a level, wherever, whenever, however. It'll bring something that you can connect with, and then it becomes more than just a song, and therefore it becomes more than just a band, and we become more than just a band title.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea to try to find some sort of theme or concept that people can connect with, and then bring them closer to what you're trying to represent as a band. And then, right? Something like that.
So
Yeah.
the quick and when it comes to like lyrical themes and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
like I said, it used to be the classic, let's write about war and power and being awesome. But
Yeah.
then I write about life. I write about life, man.
There's a lot of good stuff to write about, and not so good stuff, but that's part of
right.
life. So two sides of the same coin. Cool. How about you guys? Do you contribute any lyrics, or you're mainly just the musicians behind it?
As of right now, mostly instrumentation.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, in the future, I plan to start doing vocals for like the next record.
Okay. As far as backup vocals, or you guys switch off with leads or things like that, or different vocal parts or harmonies? Or
Well, as of right now,
what are you thinking?
Well, yeah, Zach lead vocals.
Yeah.
And then I'll pitch in with backups.
Sure.
So will I occasionally. It's just more or less I'm playing drums, and I'm not Brand Daler when it comes to like singing and playing drums. So it's like whoa or whatever.
Well, I'm gonna guess that the lead singer has the best singing voice. Is that an assumption?
Oh
I
yeah,
should
by
make?
far. Yeah.
Or you're just like, we need someone, you do it. You just pick and random. You have the best.
Let's hope. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm the best because that's just not who I am.
Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, I mostly, to be fairly honest, the reason that I originally took up vocals is because we didn't have anyone else, and our singer situation had just kind of caved under. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do it.
Yes.
I love James Hetfield. Let's go.
There you go.
And then at first I was just, doing the Hetfield thing, not caring, just basically going, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then I started taking it more serious, and now it's just, that's become my main thing aside from guitar now.
Okay, so it's evolved, obviously.
Yes, a lot.
I mean, you got to have influences. A good place to start. I mean, it's like, Metallica versus Megadeth. Well, Dave Mustaine's not the greatest singer, but he has that passion behind it. So it's like, well, I guess I'm the guy. I'm not really meant to be a singer. I'm a guitar player, but I can do both. And not saying that you don't sing, because I, again, saw you guys last night, killer performance. And it's a good thing you had a guitar strap on there, because that thing was flying around pretty good. So kudos to you guys for nailing it down there. Why don't we play another tune you guys got lined up? Another special surprise here.
All right.
I'm interested to hear this one. On the Route. That's right. We're here on KFAI. This is Radio Without Boundaries. We are proving it right there with Firehouse. I believe that's a historic first for the root of all evil. When I think root of all evil, I think Firehouse. Don't treat me bad. That is the ticket. Way to go, guys. What brought that on? You just had to do it. And you know what? I'm not going to knock on any of these bands. It's fantastic. So explain yourselves. What was the reason behind that? You just one of your favorites? Guilty pleasure? Solid song? I think it's a solid song.
It's Nick's guilty pleasure.
I like the 80s, okay?
You know what? I do too, so don't worry about it. The 80s rule, and I don't care what anybody says.
We should have put Nelson on the playlist.
There you go. That could be an idea, I guess. Let's see. So we got the band Sons of Vengeance in here. We're winding down our interview portion here. Any last words? You guys, you're working on an album. We don't have any upcoming live appearances for you right now that I know of, unless you have something in the works.
We do.
You do? Okay.
I believe our next show is September 1st at Opinion Brewing Company.
Oh, very nice. I've heard a lot of things about Opinion. It seems like a lot of bands are playing there now.
Yeah.
I haven't been there myself yet. I want to go.
It's a really nice venue. We played there just a while ago, and it's a really nice venue.
It seems misleading because I'm like, Opinion Brewing, but I guess it seems like other places, breweries, I guess, play. The term brewery is used somewhat loosely, I think. Because it seems like it's not quite what it seems to be from the outside.
Yeah, it's more of just like a bar with a cool stage. And yeah.
Wow, cool. Yeah, been a lot of local shows come through there recently, so definitely have to come check that out at some point.
Actually, this November we'll be back at Neeson's with playing with Stormbreaker and Malice again for Sword Metal Fest. Yep.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. I think I saw that name, Sword Metal Fest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into the fall schedule for upcoming bands and concerts and such, but I believe that was on my radar. So Malice is coming back too then?
Yep.
Excellent. Right on. That's a good deal and give you guys great exposure once again.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like Neeson's because I'm familiar with that area too, so it's a great venue. Yeah, and again, I know people sometimes complain about, it's so far or whatever. Well, you know what? Regardless of where you live, you should go out and support your local metal scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. Just make that effort. And if you don't show up and show your support, it goes away. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. But you really should care enough to make an effort to do that, because you're missing a lot of quality stuff like Sons of Vengeance. Who would have thought? There's a great local band out there, and people might discover you like, wow, these guys are like my new favorite. and then follow you, and that's how you get fans. And with all this social media and stuff too, you never know where it can lead. So that's really cool. Let's see here. We'll do a couple more questions. I don't really have anything in particular. How about, let's see. If this is true or not about certain band members, Nick, your nickname is Zack Attack. Is that true?
Nick, me.
I'm looking at.
Oh, it's Zach.
That's
Zach.
Oh, jeez, that's it's
like,
written. Zach, Nick, your name is Zach. Zach, your name is Zack Attack. Okay, see, I screwed that up. Whoops. Here, how about this? If you did have a chance to actually open for a band coming to town, an international band, who would you like to open for?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden. Of course, everyone says Iron Maiden.
Yes.
obviously
mean,
Iron Maiden.
They put on like the greatest live shows ever, and they
Did you see them when they were here?
Yes.
You did?
Mhm.
Awesome. How was it?
It was like no doubt the best show I've ever seen.
Wow.
And they've drawn huge crowds, so that's
yeah.
definitely who I'd want to open up for.
Yeah, and I saw them back in 2000, but it seems like it's again a time capsule band. It doesn't really matter when you see them; it's always a good band to see. And the one thing that I do appreciate about Iron Maiden, whether you're a fan or not, they really actually put an emphasis on supporting their new material. They don't just play the hits and the classics because you want to support your new material and believe that it's good, just like, your new record's just as good as your old record.
Yeah.
Or at least it should be. I mean, you can't live in the past, but at the same time, you want to try to progress but stay the same. And it's a hard balance to kind of do something old and something new and please yourself and the fans also at the same time. So, yeah. Any other stories you want to share? Last minute things that you can think of? Funny road stories, any experiences you've had in this band?
Oh, we have. I'm just trying to find the best of our road stories because, man, the last couple weeks and actually the last month, we've been on the road so much. We've been playing so much. We've done so much. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Where you been? Give me a list, for example.
Okay,
Locally,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As of now.
Yeah.
Well, last week on Sunday, last Sunday we were at the fair, and then the day before that,
Which fair was that?
State Fair.
that was the state fair.
The state fair.
Yeah, and
Am I missing something? Which state fair?
the Minnesota State Fair.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It was a competition.
It's
thing.
like the state fair is like coming up.
Yeah.
It must be something else at the state fair.
Oh yeah, it was a competition we played at.
Okay, I misunderstood you. Sorry.
And then the day before that, we were at where were we at on Saturday? We were
I'm totally blanking on this as well.
I know, like we were there.
Yeah.
I
Playing somewhere.
I know.
The Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Oh,
That's it.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So the
nice.
day before on
Okay.
last Saturday we were at Amsterdam. So lately we've been doing these double day things.
Okay.
And
What do you mean by that?
like the last couple weeks we've been doing show day after show day, and then this week on yesterday was it or the day before that
Yeah.
we were doing stuff all day for the band, and then we had shows on top of that, and now we're here, so it's like day after day. It's like we're actually on tour when we're not even on tour.
Well, yeah. In between the shows, there's self-promotion. Right?
Oh,
and maintenance and business and meetings, and you got to collaborate and you got to get your schedules and right.
Oh, that's
All that stuff.
I try to do that as often as possible, and obviously these guys help out a ton with the promotion, an absolute ton. So kudos to them. Quite frankly, if it wasn't for Logan's baby face, I don't think we would have had any followers on Facebook. I mean, come on, he is the baby of our social media. Like, look at him, look at him.
Just look at him. Okay, look at your radio right now.
Look at your
In your radio land. You can
I'm the
see his
star of our
face.
Instagram.
Oh my god! But seriously, go to his Facebook and look up Logan Stahlecker guitar guitar. Which one is it?
Yeah, plug it.
Plug it and
Whatever you got.
actually plug all of us, because we all work really hard to promote these shows and put it all together ourselves, and we're really trying to like prove that this is the generation.
Yeah.
This is the century of the DIY.
Yes.
Band. So
Yeah, good for you guys.
We're gonna be at the forefront of it, and
Yeah.
we're gonna be in its face.
Well, you pretty much have to at this point in the game.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, if it was 20, 30 years ago, it'd be maybe a little bit different. But now, you know, it's pretty much you take it in your own hands, and you can. But the nice thing is you have so much flexibility. You can promote it however you want. It seems pretty much social media is the key to really push it and get it out there, and then obviously playing live behind that and make sure you you know, get some exposure. Wow. Well, it sounds like you're on the right track for sure. Kudos to you guys. Hold on. Before I do that, let me say this. You are listening to KFAI. This is 90.3 FM in Minneapolis, 106.7 FM in St. Paul. Radio without boundaries. It's 3 a.m. And looks like our time is about up for Sons of Vengeance interview. I guess we can probably lead out with one more song if you have some. I think you might have some Led Zeppelin over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is that next on the list?
Yep.
I
That is.
believe so.
Okay, cool. Why don't we do that right now on the root of all evil? All right, I think we're gonna break here one more time with the band Sons of Vengeance. We're past our interview time, but we had one last thing we wanted to mention. First of all, that was Led Zeppelin, The Ocean, of course, and we had one thing we wanted to say about what was it, a bass player?
Yep.
What were you guys talking about?
Yeah,
Well, unfortunately, he just he couldn't be here just because of the time constraints and all that.
Yeah.
And he totally wanted to. It's just we couldn't make it happen. But yeah, our bass player too. He's our new guy. His name's Dane Vechart. We just got him in. He's killing it so far. He's been amazing at shows. He's got the energy.
Cool.
I mean, you saw him, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he's got the energy, and for as spry of a kid as he is, to be at the level he's at,
Yeah.
with like basically no experience before, it proves that, you know, this is natural for people who really care about it. And
Yeah.
obviously, we all really care about it, and because that's how he is, he just works well with the band instantly.
Cool. Yeah, well, the ones that make it look easy are the ones that it's a natural talent. Yeah, it's a gift, I guess you would say. So you don't really have to try that hard. You still have to try, but it's like you could just pick it up and just like from day one, look at this, you know. And it's not even trying to show off or anything. You're just a natural talent, and some people are. And you know, you never know sometimes until you just pick up an instrument. Oh, I didn't realize I had this skill, and you just do. You know, But that's how you find these things out, I guess. Cool. I want to ask one more question. If you weren't playing your chosen given instrument, what else would you consider playing? If you were not playing guitar or bass or drums or things like that, what would you pick up instead?
Oh, you're saying that I would need to play something that's not
He's giving you a hand signal.
the didgeridoo.
The didgeridoo,
The
yes.
didgeridoo is the best instrument by far.
Wow, good choice, boy. That's pretty random.
It's
What's the appeal with that?
Wow, wow, wow. That's the appeal.
just the
That's the appeal. That's all you
Wow.
need. I don't know. That'd be hard to collaborate with some of that stuff, I think. But you know what? Give it a try if you really want to.
Does Mongolian throat singing count as an instrument?
It could.
Yes.
I would say yes. That's called an outside influence.
I would be
way outside.
I'd be a slide whistle enthusiast.
A slide. Oh, of course.
oh
There's
my-
so many of those.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, just he plays the slide whistle, just like pew. That was heavy.
Oh,
my
solo.
God.
That'd be awesome.
Why this can't be like a normal band instrument, can it?
I don't care.
No, okay.
What do you got?
I guess I should make it fair and make it
Yeah?
not a band instrument.
It doesn't have to be real. I mean, it could, but you never know.
Oh my golly.
We're in the land
is
of
golly.
make believe here.
Guys, what are some good not metal instruments?
It's
The skin
hypothetical.
flute.
The skin flute. Yeah, there you go. You might get some complaints on that, or you might get a lot of fans out of that.
the
I don't know.
bagpipes. The bagpipes are
Bagpipes.
also
Okay.
well, I am
you-
Scottish, so
Well, bands do play with bagpipes. That is a thing.
Yeah.
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 I think I'm trying to think of a band that I saw with bagpipes. I don't know if I did.
There's that
I don't
There's
remember.
that like bagpipe guy who does the Thunderstruck. I think it's like a really old, irrelevant video, but
Yeah.
That's
it
pretty
exists.
cool.
It's
Right
got
on.
fire and stuff. It's sweet.
Nice.
The keytar.
The keytar.
Keytar, yeah.
I have seen one of those in concert. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Same.
If you guys are familiar with pirates, there's pirate metal out there now.
Hailstorm.
Hailstorm.
Yes.
Oh, well, what about
So-
you? What would you want to play?
Cowbell, man. Cowbell.
Oh, well, yeah.
I didn't even think that's a great
The
idea.
electric triangle.
Need more cowbell all the time.
It's like a distorted triangle,
The
man.
electric triangle.
It just sounds brutal.
yeah, throw some distortion on it, you're all set. But right on.
Distorted didgeridoo.
I don't know.
Oh my
Whatever.
God.
All right. Well, I think we're probably done enough talking here. I think we'll play some more tunes now. And then continue with some more stuff here. Give us a call, 612-341-0980. And you guys hang out as long as you want. And we'll keep going here with some Mentors on the Route.